Should I say the
No,
name
it's alright, we can type it in going. There's enough of us to work on it.
Okay, so my first point is learning difficulties. And so these are different to learning difficulties because difficulties are more within your brain and what helps you to go through the education system. So like dyslexia and kind of how it's a word blindness, or dyscalculia, which is all about the numbers. And so it's kind of interested in how all these people see things and how they affect the learning and how it's changed from the Mental Health Act, which said like kids were unteachable, to how kind of everyone is entitled to education, and these are just differences in your brain that make you, like, strategies have to be learned and taught to overcome these things. And then what's the best way to do this, and kind of that's how I'm thinking it. Then you've got memory, still kind of looking at the brain. So you've got different types of memory, and working memory is interesting. So it's under the short-term memory category, and it works like a notepad or a scratch pad. And so it's how you transfer what you're thinking into your long-term memory. And if you find lots of learning difficulties, this is the bit which doesn't work. Or sensory memory was another really interesting one. So this is the, like, your senses have got different names, so your iconic, your haptic. So what you see, you hear, you feel, and you've got no control over what you sense, but you can change this into kind of long-term memory through attention. And so that's kind of a lot of subliminal messages can come in through these senses. Attention is my third point. So selective attention is where you focus and you change that into kind of long-term memory. And this is very interesting. So like they did a psychology experiment with a gorilla. And so if you're concentrating on counting people passing a basketball, you're not going to notice the gorilla. And so it's kind of inattentional blindness. Like, what can you pass through without people seeing if they're concentrating on different things? And then this kind of leads into visual illusions. So that's kind of attention. So if you're concentrating on it, you'll see one thing, and if you're not, you'll see another. And so it's kind of all this play around your brain and how what you see isn't real, and kind of how the brain works. And then finally, education. So teaching approaches, and lots of different educational theories on whether kids should be like learn things by rote or experience or kind of play through, like play-based learning. And then my final one is kind of maths, because maths is very important. And it's just an interesting topic, particularly within the educational setting. So the four topics were learning difficulties, memory, attention, and education.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Yay.
Okay. So there's quite a few bits appearing in the music page, which is good. I think there's connections between like 1 and 4, obviously. I think they are really broad, so that's great because you can really narrow it down. So you said the learning difficulties. Do you say they're different to learning differences?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's what I wrote. I wasn't sure that's what you said.
Or so yes. Learning disabilities rather than so difficulties and disabilities. So
Okay.
difficulty is where you can't feed yourself and you need someone full time to look after you. Whereas a difficulty is you can function, you just need certain things in place to help you through the system. So like using a calculator if you're dyscalculic.
Yeah.
And things like that.
Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, the memory stuff, I used to reference that thinking fast and slow. Daniel Kahneman. Yeah.
Yeah, that was me.
Did we read that before we came to uni?
Yeah, it was on the first list.
It was a really
How is
That's
that?
good.
Yeah.
Very dense.
Interesting.
Okay, cool. All right, so we want to upvote some of these.
Oh yeah.
And then we can add some stuff later on. Yeah,